Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Um, I thought I saw Gustavo as well. Oh yeah, he's joining. How are you guys doing?
Excited that there are 8 more days left of work.
Ah, okay.
Nope, seven more days left of work for me. It is
That's
Wednesday.
good. Hi Gustavo, how are you?
Oh, good. Yourself, Matt,
Good,
Aldina? How are you?
Hello.
good.
Good.
Okay, I'll share my screen. And so today, the purpose of this meeting is to show you guys how to make edits on the website, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and um, I will create logins for you so that you can log in as administrators to the website and to the backend. So again, and I will give you short instructions on how to log in, but basically you go to the WP admin link like this,
Right.
and you end up on this page, and then you enter your username or email, and then you'll see this screen. So from here, you don't really need to know anything here, so it's not important. So you go back to the website and go to the page where you plan to make edits.
Okay.
So let's go to any of these categories and use it as an example. And once you're on the page that you'd like to edit, you just click on Edit with Elementor on the top. So you don't care about these settings. They are not relevant. So you just click on the top link here. And this is how you end up in the editing mode. And the way how you know this is by when you hover over elements, you will see this pink like menus or pencils like this. Now let's imagine so like these pages are pre-designed sort of. So we have standard sections for those who are what they call sponsors, right? Or no, not sponsors. Um
Advertisers?
yeah, advertise, that's right. So and I guess this will gonna change most of this stuff. But what I'm trying to show you right now is that when you hover over elements, so let's say you need to edit some text, so you click on the pencil and the text appears on this side, in this sidebar, and that's where you make the edits. So you can type and it appears here, right?
Okay.
And yeah, if any questions, just stop me and uh, ask the question, okay? Because I might go too fast.
Okay.
Same with same with images. Like if you hover over image, then you click on this, and it like the settings for the image appear here, so you can change it by clicking on the image and then look for the logo you need, or you can just upload a logo or an image from your computer. So let's say I need to upload some image. I can just drag and drop it here. As you can see, right? So it becomes like a blue background. So that means it's ready for the image to be dropped. So once it's dropped here, the image is uploaded. So now it's ready to be used. So I'm not gonna do it right now, but the idea is you got the idea. So now it's a little bit like you have to know a little bit of principles of the design in pages. Uh, and like the whole idea of the pages is that we have like containers. So every container is like a box, right? So you can see a box like this, and then you put different elements inside this box. So if you hover over elements, this is like a box, right? And you see this line, dotted line. So that basically the borders of the box, right? And inside the box, you can have another box and another box and another box. It's like all stacked together, right? Inside one box.
Yeah.
And then you put like elements like text, images, some icons, social icons like this, buttons like this, right? So you all put inside those boxes. So that's a like important principle. And now, like if I hover over this box, right, and click on it, I can see the settings for this specific box. And if I click on this box, I can also see the settings for this box. And same with this box. But what I'm trying to say here is that um, this box, like the bigger box, right? And inside box, I actually have, like, even though they look similar, they have different settings. For example, if I click on the bigger box, you may notice that this box has a direction, horizontal, which means two other inside boxes, they're going to be placed horizontally. If I change the settings, they stacked on top of each other,
Oh.
right?
Mhm.
So, and this is like important principle to understand because sometimes it's confusing. Why is this important? Because if you switch from like desktop view, right? Let me show you. So this is a desktop view, right? So this is how it's gonna look on the bigger screens. If I switch to mobile view, they're gonna be stacked in the column. So this is important to understand because this is usability and like the main principles of how we use these websites these days. So this is like preview on iPhone, right? And this is a desktop preview. The easiest way to make changes, or let's imagine a situation when you need to add another advertiser here. So we have like film training Manitoba, we have University of Regina, but let's say we have a third advertiser on the same page. So to be honest, the easiest way is just to right click on the main box and then click duplicate. So now we have this exact same structure, right? Exactly same layout. But all you have to do is just change it from, I don't know, company X Manitoba, right? And it could be same same text here, maybe a different logo here. Like, I don't know, this one, so it doesn't really matter. Icons, and you would change text here and maybe completely delete the button here. Right? So because you already have pre-built layouts, you can just duplicate them and it saves tons of time for you. Okay? So, and then again, you can just right click, duplicate, and boom, you have another advertiser, right? If you need to delete it, you just right click, delete, and delete. And don't forget to click publish. Okay? Any questions so far?
A little bit. What happens if there aren't any major, like if there isn't a big ad
Mm-hmm.
and somebody,
Yeah, we can just delete them.
okay,
So,
but if we deleting is not a problem, but what if there wasn't one on a page and we
Mhm.
need one?
Oh, okay, got it.
Can we
Yeah, good
copy it
question.
and Like, could we
Yeah.
Create
copy
it
it?
from scratch? Yeah, that's what you want.
You can create it from scratch, or you can save it. And if you right click on the main element type of thing, right, like this, you can save it as template.
Okay.
So, which means if you click here, oh, sorry about my spelling. I was always like, it's my issue. Advertise a block. Let's call it this way. So site templates, save. Okay, so it's saved. Now we can go close it. Let's go to some other page. Let's go to health and medicine, for example. So we have Regina. Okay, so we click here again, edit with Elementor. And here, so you need to add a container first. Okay, and then from here, like it gives you this menu, you go here to the folder icon, and then you go to templates. And here we have this advertiser block, and we just click insert. So now we have this advertiser block. The only thing here, what is different is that this container is slightly different.
Right.
So it
Might have
might,
to
yeah,
adjust
it's gonna
the
be a
size,
little,
etc.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit confusing, but again, the easiest way. So we basically what we need is to place these elements inside this container here. You know what? I'm probably gonna do it in a different way actually, because it's gonna be easier. So we're not gonna do it this way. So we're just gonna delete this, and we're gonna instead of saving this as a template, we are going to save this whole block as template. Make sense? So, because this like block, this is like a main section. So there are a little bit different terminology. So there is usually a web page is created by sections and then blocks inside the sections. So we usually call this section, for example, we usually call it a header section. And this part of the page we call footer section.
Footer, yeah.
This where the content goes, like from the header to the footer, we call it content section or main section. And all this inside blocks, we usually call them like blocks, basically. That's what we call them. Like it's in technical term is div, div, but it's like a block, so it doesn't really matter. So we can actually save this as a section. So let's call it this. Now it's going to be saved, right? As page content section. So we can go out of here. So let's go to different. I didn't make any changes, did I?
You didn't make
Wait a
any
second.
changes.
Yeah, but just in case I don't want to break anything. So let's go back to some engineering. So now here, what we can do here, we can insert this saved template. So page content section, insert, apply. So now it's duplicated. right, from the other page. Just let's give it some time to. But at least it has all the like paddings and margins and the you know, size and all the container, so it's the same. So now from here, you can actually delete everything that you don't need, and it's quite often it's just easier to do, right? So you just delete this, you delete this section, you delete this line. So now we keep this, and what are we gonna do? So from here we can just drag and drop it just above here. Make sense? So we can kind of grab the whole container with the whole like layout and images and things like that, right? And we just drag and drop it into the place where we need it. Okay? And obviously we're gonna just delete this. So once you have those pre-designed templates, it becomes really easy to just drag and drop elements from and drag like, you know, saved templates. You can just reuse them on any other pages. So yeah, once it's created, you can just reuse them. Okay, so I just want to make sure we do not keep this. So again, this is our old page, right? So that's what we had, and I'm just going to delete the whole container that is that has all these elements, other elements inside. And once I hover over it, you can see the dotted line showing the like the whole perimeter, right? So if I right click here and click delete, all the container and all the elements inside this container got deleted. Okay. So yeah, definitely there are going to be like some confusions and things like that. So you can always ask me. You can always reach to us because you need some practice to do this. Like once you build a couple of pages, typically you get the idea of how it all works. Okay.
Yeah, of course, it's just a matter of, like you said, just get the hang of it, try to add elements, remove, updates. Yeah,
It's
pretty
like
straightforward.
it's so I know how to use Word documents, right? But to be honest, like there are many people who knows way better than me. Even though it's like a Word document, it's like, you know, it's an easy thing. But to be honest, building pages like with this page builder is maybe even easier than a Word document. So you just have to like you have to know the principles, like all the element goes inside the container. And this is how you like put them in right places and assign some settings to them. So let's imagine now you have to create something from scratch. So if I don't like if I didn't select any elements, right? So as you can see, we have different elements on the left-hand side. So, and usually this is what it starts from. So you start from a container. So you just grab and drop it. And where you see this purple, well, it's not purple, it's pink, right? Pink line. So this is where it goes. So I just drop it here. And now I can add other elements here. So like heading, for example. So this is our heading, right? And so let's say I want it bigger. So I would choose H1. Then I would go and grab an image.
It's not just because it's bigger that you wanted H1, right? It's for accessibility reasons.
Yes, actually, this is right. But let's say, yeah, that's the main heading. So typically, yes, H1 is the like most important heading. If I really like to make it bigger, I would select this element and I would go to styles and I would go to typography and I would just make it bigger.
Yeah, make
right?
it bigger.
Yeah. Then we have an image here. So, and I also can change the size of it, but like by default, it usually takes the whole width of the container. Or the size of the image, like if it's a small image, it would just like be a small image, but typically it takes the whole width of the container. And so let's say I need a text. So I would go grab text and drop it here. So now we have some text. Then I would go, let's say I need a, I don't know, divider. So I would go and use a divider. So it's like a line. Again, if I
Okay.
need to make it, thicker, for example, I can go like this. Change the color. And so this is how you would use like typical elements on the page, right? So let's say we need instead of one big image here, right? We need, let's say I'll change it back to 1 pixel. So let's say we need 2 columns. So in this case, I would go grab a container, drop it here, but now I would change the settings of this container. So I would choose like direction horizontal. And now I would go grab another container and duplicate it, duplicate it, duplicate it. So now we have 4 containers in one row. Okay. And let's say I need an image here. Oops, sorry. I need another image in this container. So let's say I need another, what do I need? Let's choose video. So I need a video here, and I need another image here. So now we have, like, I mean, these are images all different sizes and things like that. This is why it looks ugly, but you got the idea, right? So you have nest, excuse me, you have one container and you have 4 other containers nested inside this container. Again, if I change the setting of this container and just unclick, right, this horizontal, they all gonna be one after another, like vertical.
Good.
Yeah. If we need them horizontally, I would just click here and they would go like this, right? So, which means let's say instead of 4 images, let's say I can use a text element here. So this is how you have a layout of image plus text, right? Now, let's say if you need to change these things, or I mean, to build something similar, so I would just duplicate, for example, and switch the layout. Oops, what did I do? So I would just go place an image here, for example, and put the text on this side. So now you have like a check table layout. So, but the idea is the same, right? So you have image here, text here, image here. So then let's say I need another element. I need a button, call to action. So I would just drop the button here, right? And I need, let's say, another button and have it here. Now the button doesn't look right. So that means if I click on the button element, first of all, we need a link, right?
Yeah.
So we need to send to people, like if somebody clicks on the button, we need to put a link here. So let's let's just, I don't know, let's grab this. No, let's use our team link. So you can just use the link here like this, right? So now this button becomes active. And then you can change the styles of this button. So we'll keep the color white, but we need background color to be like, I'm not sure, I mean, I know the exact colors, but right, the branding colors. But I just for demo purposes, I'm just applying this to the button, and then we need to change, let's say, 20 pixels, 20 pixels, and 40 pixels, and 40 pixels. So we made this button bigger. Make sense?
Yep, yep, yep.
And then what else do we need? We can change the text. This text, we can make it bigger like this. And now we have like a button that looks not like this, but you know, completely different, right? We just changed the settings of this button. So same with text. When you click on the text, you have text here, but if you need to change something, so this is one menu that you can use. But there is also another menu here in styles where you can apply like general styles to the text and, for example, change the size, the font size, and things like that to the whole element. Make sense?
It does, yes. It's just like the Canva, because I've been using Canva quite a lot and PowerPoint, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's similar. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so Canva is very similar because they're also using like web design principles because it's a web application, so they must use the same principles. And the same principle is that you have a container and then you nest elements inside this container. So those elements could be anything, like another containers. You can have hundreds of containers nested, right? So even like if I go to Google, right, this page, if I open a structure of this page, this is the simplest structure of this page. So this body is like a container, and then inside you have some other elements like link element, some script. The HTML is a bigger container, like the whole page container. So all this, like basically this page in code looks like this, right? It's very simplified, but I mean, yeah, it's actually way more complex here, but they just don't show the all elements. If you go, let's say, to this page and view the page source, so this div is container, and then you have another container inside, and then you have elements, another element, another element. This like container closes, then another container, and so on. So it goes like container inside container inside container and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so now we have some Christmas pictures. We have like text, buttons. What else do we need? Yeah, you can even drop a Google map here, like if you need. So, I mean, it's not really relevant, but so if you just type the location, right? The Google map shows the location, and then you can increase the size. And or if I So if I put some address here, right, so it actually shows the pin here. So what are other elements that are important except for images, text, and videos? Probably one thing I'd like to show you as well is, let me just delete it first before I forget. Okay. Sometimes we we want to have some elements in different layouts and different positions. So you see these like almost invisible elements here, right? They are actually become visible in a different layout. So if I switch to mobile view, now I have these links at the bottom. The reason why is because, like, if I keep them here and I switch to mobile view, they would show right after, they would show here, which I don't want. I want them below, right below the text, below the logo, below the content, and like a description of the advertiser. Does it make sense?
Okay.
So that's why this is why it's a little bit more advanced, I would say. Like, but the whole idea is that you customize the layout on for mobile views and you customize the layout for desktop views.
Desktop for both. Yeah.
So, and that's I guess this is sometimes it takes a little bit more time, but in this with this builder, with this page builder, it's pretty easy. So I usually create a layout for desktop first, right? So if I'm happy how it looks on desktop, like two columns in this case, right? The logos are in correct places and things like that. Then I switch to mobile view. And I start editing the elements. And the way how I make it, I just duplicate. Oh, 1 second, I have to move this bar. So I duplicate the element, and then in the settings, in advanced settings, under this responsive tab, I define on which screens this element should be visible and should be hidden. So the problem with desktop layout versus mobile layout is that usually, well, in most of the cases, on mobile layout, all the elements stack on top of each other, like in a column, right? And if I, like on mobile layout, I really want the name of the company to go first, and then the logo, and then the social media links, and then the text. I don't want this element to be visible on mobile somewhere in the middle, right? So this is why I defined what is visible on mobile screens and what is not visible on mobile screens. So I don't really want to
Gotcha.
go in depth here because realistically this is like a little bit more advanced thing.
Designing, yeah.
It just the reason why I show this to you is because you're probably gonna see this dashed elements, and maybe you don't you want to know what that means. Like, why do we have the same element here and here? So that's because because I customized the layout for mobile and for desktop screens.
Just
Okay. So if you see anywhere these elements, so that means that their visibility is different. So the visibility of these elements are different for mobiles and for desktops. And you can always ask me about like what's the best way to apply this, elements. Okay?
Mhm.
So it's like yeah, this is more like a usability or UX issue that we deal with for mobile and desktop use. So 15 years ago, there was no such issue because there were no mobile screens.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
now we have to make adjustable layouts, mobile
you have to
friendly.
optimize it for both. Yeah.
Yeah, mobile friendly layouts. And realistically, 60% of people actually go from mobile first, and then 40% still use desktop. Um, okay, so what else is important here? Um, yeah, so these elements, like this layout and basic elements, are most important and mostly used. Other elements are more like fancy elements, like tabs, accordions, image boxes, and things like that. You probably want to use them sometimes, but it's not that important. So you can play with them. So let's say we want like a tabs, which means in reality, when we click on these tabs, it would show different content, right? Under here. So, but I don't think we use this on the website. So it's really up to you. If you want to change some pages, you can play with other elements, but the basic elements are most important. Okay, so wait a second, what just happened?
It happened. It broke.
Hmm. Okay, that was a little scary.
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay, so there is some caching issue. It's not a big problem. I honestly don't know why is it. It's probably some just so it's all good on this screen, so it should be good. Don't know. It's probably hosting issue or something like that. Sometimes it just breaks the layout. But it just should be just on my computer. Okay, so what else? Come on. Oh, okay. Fixed. Yeah, it was a caching issue. Okay, so what else do we need to know? So I guess mostly you're gonna probably work with these pages, like and adjust these layouts, right? So I think we pretty much covered this because everything else is basically just repetitive, and the best easiest way is just to like duplicate these sections and reuse them and just change the logos or text or videos like in this case. Do you have any questions?
Mm, not for me. It's pretty straightforward. Just to get used to how the editing tools work, how to add, duplicate, delete, modify, and going back and forth between desktop and mobile to make sure everything is optimized on
Mhm.
both views.
Yeah.
And yeah, make sure to upload for I don't know, for an image, just a high quality image, right? Because we don't want any
Uh,
pixelated
well,
versions.
well, yeah, um for actually for web development, you don't really need too high quality image. Like for example,
Okay.
from the it's more important for the page to load faster, and
Oh, okay.
the images are playing a huge part in this. So let's say I was just editing like images, and this is a good example. So for example, I had this image, and where are the properties?
You
Uh,
gotta click now. Okay, perfect.
yeah, so actually don't see. So the size is almost a megabyte, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking for, oh, here. So you see this
Resolution
dimension? Yeah. So resolution is 3,400 pixels wide and almost 2,000 tall. That's too much. Like in fact, this resolution is like twice of my
4K
screen, 19-inch screen. It's twice bigger. We don't really need this. So what I usually do, like I reduce the images. So this one is big, but this is the same image. Uh, and so it's only 44 kilobytes, right? And it's 1280 pixels by 720.
It's 720p.
Yeah,
Okay.
so realistically, this is a way smaller image. But if we go to the website, um, it's gonna take a place like this, such a small container. So this container is about 480 pixels wide. So why would we need to fit like a huge image inside the smaller
Mm-hmm.
container? Because nobody's gonna look at this as a huge image. So
Yeah,
that's why we
full screen.
reduce, yeah, typically we reduce the size of the images to make the page load faster. Because
Makes
nobody's
sense.
gonna, like look at the huge image. It's not important here. Same with these logos. Like it's such a small logo, right? It's more like maybe 120 pixels wide only. So why would we need? It's even smaller, I think. Why would we need a 4,000 pixel wide
Mm-hmm.
logo in such a small container?
Space.
Yeah, because all this stuff is important for speed of the pages. And the better the faster it loads is definitely better for user experience. So that's why like they are still crisp and clear, these images. They are not pixelated. But in reality, like for example, this image is only 370 pixels wide.
Mm,
So it's really
looks
small.
good.
Yeah, so it's really
Yes.
small and it loads fast. Yeah. So and I
Noted.
mean it's clear, it's crisp enough.
Well, this is good to know.
Hmm.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I will also prepare like a SOP, like instructions on how to use the how to make changes to the pages with examples and print screens from the pages. Okay,
Thank you.
so that you can use. But to be honest, like I would just go and play with the pages, and if you'd like, I can just create um, duplicated pages so that you can play with them. They're not going to be visible anywhere. But if you'd like, I can just duplicate the pages and you can just, do whatever you want with them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. I will do
Hmm.
that and I will send you the links.
Okay. There was a page that you had built that we said asked you to hide, right? Was that the
Uh,
one? It had the
I was using real pages. Or sorry, maybe I didn't understand the question.
Well, maybe it was the brochure, the thing, the piece of paper that we walk around with at the career symposium.
Mm,
Maybe I'm wrong.
PDF?
I can't remember. It's been a while, and you have made so many changes that we've asked for that we really appreciate. So
Yeah, I don't really recall this, to be honest. Like, there are some PDF attached to the
right,
website, and I think it's like in uh, here.
right,
But
like that.
this is a PDF, yeah. So it's not a web page.
Right.
So yeah, but what I'll probably do is just duplicate a couple of these pages and send you the links. They're not going to be visible anywhere on the website, but they're going to be live, and you can just play with elements. You can drop text, change images, and things like that. So you can have like practice. You can do some practical changes on the website,
Yeah,
like on those
that'll be
pages, and then implement this knowledge and experience to the real pages. If you want, I can do that because it's just a couple of clicks. Okay?
sure. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
sounds good. So I think if you don't have any other questions, that's it from me for today.
Thank you so much, Vlad.
Okay.
And yeah, and I will also send you the logins to the website. Um, I'll write it down, logins, so that you can log in and oh, and are there any questions about the current sign-ups or anything like that? Is everything like smooth so far? Because why I'm asking is because there are still people signing up, right? Filling
Mhm.
out the form, but we actually send all 3 invitation emails to both schools and exhibitors. So I think it's like a time probably to start like manually reaching out to those who wants to sign up as well.
Yeah.
In January, probably.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
People have just received the emails, and yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
exactly. Because first I wanted to wrap up with school and everything, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to digest, and
Mm-hmm.
then I can sit down and start calling people. I did send reply to one email
Mm-hmm.
where, well, that's very specific and it's not within this context, but
Mm-hmm.
I asked for proof. This client was basically saying that they were GST exempt.
Mm-hmm.
So I spoke with Jackie and I asked for a formal document
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yep.
and I asked for that. They send it to me, but I'm going to create like a folder somewhere in the Google Drive. So
Mm-hmm.
Jackie removes the GST from that and then send it over. But that's about it. That's the only thing. And also, Vlad, I had a meeting with Jackie
Mm-hmm.
just to try to understand how the invoice process works or used to work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and basically, I just created another tab in the master uh, sheet that basically mirrors the raw data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I added a few columns that are useful for her that I'm going to be basically we're going to work on the mirror
Mm-hmm.
sheet or tab. Sorry, from the master web. I'm not gonna change anything on the master. It's just
Mm-hmm.
information falls into the master, mirrors into the other one, and then we work on that.
Okay.
That's basically what I've done so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Nothing breaks.
Okay, great. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
It was pleasure meeting you again.
Exactly.
Thank you,
And
Vlad.
I'm not
Very
sure
helpful.
when the next time we are gonna meet, but in case if we don't, then happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New
Happy New
Year.
New
Year.
Year.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you sooner or later. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
we'll do that. Of course, for sure. So I
Okay.
noticed that you're recording this session. Would you be sharing the link just
Oh yeah,
for
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
perfect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great
You
day, Tim.
too.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.